Ramble.
Thank you to Rosetta Stone for sponsoring today's episode. It's a me, guilty pleasures. What's up? It's a we. Today we're talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, or as Kelsey likes to call it, the Super Smash movie.
Yes. Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. Movie.
Wow.
It's an exciting time.
Wow.
Years in the making. It feels like a lifetime of waiting. And
Wow.
Mario,
He's arrived.
he is here.
He is here.
Had you ever seen the 90s movie?
There's a 90s movie?
Oh, Kelsey, are you fucking kidding me? You
No.
don't know it? Oh, it is a classic in its own right, a guilty pleasures classic that we perhaps should cover one day in the future. It's a live-action movie starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. It's like
What?
steampunk underground. Oh, it's insane and totally wild.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. It's really wild.
Okay, gonna put that on my airplane list of movies to watch tonight.
No, don't.
Oh, don't?
Wait for me.
Okay.
So just to get this out of the way, our beloved Garrick is not here this week.
Feels so empty.
It feels weird, and especially because this is a movie that he would want to be here for. But the reason is important because if you are listening to this, Single Drunk Female Season 2 is out.
Yay. Go, Team James for life. Team James for life.
I need to tell you this because Garrick is too bashful, and he hasn't been using this show to promote it.
He really hasn't.
He's a star.
He is such a good actor. It's infuriating. He is serious. He's funny. He's loving.
He's so lovable.
He's so lovable. And apparently his character, some shit goes down this season.
Now, my opinion is that if you haven't seen season 1, it's on Hulu. You should watch it.
Yes.
But I also think that you could just jump in.
Yeah, it's on Freeform as well. Definitely check it out. But it does feel weird because we're talking about a video game movie without our video game bro.
I know. And I actually, we talked on the phone yesterday and I got some of his opinions.
Why?
We talk.
So for what?
We talk.
Why were you guys talking?
We just were talking.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're just catching up.
Absolutely not.
Just saying hey.
He's in New York City.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if he'll answer my call. Do we
Garrick
think he's on an
also
airplane?
took a photo. He ran into one of my best friends. He took a photo and sent it to us. And Kelsey texted me. She goes, "Who is that guy?" And I'm like, "Kelsey, you made out with him."
No fucking way. That's crazy.
I don't remember who he is. Or that's not what he looked like. Garrick's not answering.
It's a me.
He's working.
The premiere was last night.
Oh.
You think he's on a plane?
Maybe.
Okay, well, fine, Rick. I'm sad that you guys
Snakes on a
talked.
plane.
That's
Next week.
Sorry.
Are you in this
Or maybe
episode?
2
Nope.
weeks.
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
Why?
You can spoil it.
He has a child.
I have a baby. I haven't been to the
You
theater.
act like having a baby means you can't be a human.
I am a human. I didn't say that. Don't put your fucking shit on me.
That was Zach.
I have not been to the theater because I just haven't been to the theater. I've been busy.
Why have you been busy?
Nah.
Why? No, but why have you been busy?
Been bench pressing 1,000 pounds a day.
That checks out. Looks like it.
Not to brag.
So
We
Kelsey
saw
and
this together.
Yes.
And with our friend Lauren and her fiance Jeremy. This was like a fun friendship night.
It was a little Friday night outing.
Oh my God. Like we're in our 30s, baby. We're at the movies on a Friday night with our pals.
A little bit of a regret is that we saw like what, the 8:15
8:45.
showing, and 8:45 even later. I wish that we had gone a little earlier to be with some kiddos.
There were enough children in ours and they tacked a little bit and I was over it. Because here's the thing. It's not really a kid's movie.
I so disagree.
I knew you would. It's not really it's an adult movie they're trying to get their kids excited about Mario.
I absolutely couldn't disagree more.
I don't know.
You think this is a movie for adults?
I think this was a movie 100% made for adults to feel nostalgic. It's not made as a children's movie. What makes it a children's movie? 'Cause it's colorful?
My critiques, if you want to get into it, is that I am mad that I was talking to Jack in the office about the difference between family movies and kids movies.
Okay.
And I wish this were a family movie like a Toy Story or a Paddington, where this is a movie that's good for kids, but is still a great movie. I think that this is firmly a kids movie where...
Oh my God, couldn't disagree more.
Well, this is going to be an exciting hour.
I love arguing with you.
I love it.
It's two Leos in the room.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat your head off.
I can't wait. I thought you were going to say eat your ass.
That was Zach who made the first sex joke, not me.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty.
Not me. Yeah, in this movie.
So Mario, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, we meet Mario and Luigi, two plumbers from Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn, what's in the house? Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
Brooklyn in the house.
I can't believe you just did that. That was
Hey,
so
Brooklyn,
insane.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn.
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 Brooklynin did not sponsor this podcast. Who are our sponsors this week?
Brooklyn.
They are two Italian brothers.
It's a me.
You really get the backstory in this that you don't get in the video game.
Yeah, tell me.
They're two brothers who are plumbers starting a business, and the way that they think that they can really get their name out there is by solving Brooklyn's greatest plumbing crisis, which leads them into a type of hole portal pipe, green pipe, and shoots their butts into Mario Land, into Mushroom Palace Village.
Mushroom Kingdom. And the two get split up, Luigi into the dark corners of not even Mushroom Kingdom, just whatever, Bowser World, where he finds Shy Guys and spooky things and eventually runs into Bowser. And then we have Mario sucked into Mushroom Kingdom, where, of course, Princess Peach is living amongst a bunch of toads. There's the big evil Bowser, voiced by the always incredible Jack Black. He's on a quest to get a star and take over the world. Mario and Peach need to team up. They're going to find Donkey Kong along the way, try and build an army, and see if they can rescue Luigi and save Mushroom Kingdom.
Wow.
It's a Mario.
This is a me Mario.
Wait, by the way, was that like a really good impression?
That was really good.
It was pretty decent.
Felt pretty fucking like,
pretty
God, if you're
thorough.
listening, that was not,
A sound effect.
that was me.
We didn't pipe that in.
Ah, nice.
Did you even mean that?
I really didn't.
Because you gave me a stink eye. Zach, what's your connection to Mario Brothers?
Oh, I mean, I'm a fucking guy, man. I'm just a guy who loves playing video games. Of course I love Mario. I've been playing Mario as long as I've been alive. I mean, Mario 64 is one of the first games that like fully blew my mind. But I love the side scrollers. I love Super Smash Brothers. I love Mario Kart. Mario Odyssey, where you get to throw his little hat at things and become people. Like I have always loved, I will always love Mario. I've been more of a Luigi guy.
Oh,
my whole life.
That's controversial.
I used to play him in Super Smash Brothers.
Wow. Because he was
Weird.
taller?
I don't know. I got really good with him, and it was funny to win with him because he's just so.
We should be playing Smash way more in this office.
I think that's Miles. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Hell yeah, man.
Miles, what's your connection to Mario? Why do I feel like you're way into Mario Brothers lore?
Well, I'm a big gamer, so
Right. Maybe that's why.
I've probably played every single Mario game.
Oh, wow.
Luigi's Mansion. I played all the originals.
Luigi's got a mansion?
Luigi's
Yeah,
got
he has a
Stupid
ghost
Mansion.
hunting video game.
But what?
Played all the Smash games.
Okay.
I'm pretty woke on Super Mario's lore. But actually, you mentioned something. So I have not seen the film,
Yeah.
but I have a couple questions for you guys. As acting as somebody who is in the audience who has not seen the film, you save Luigi.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like the
That's
main
such a
part of the
cool,
plot.
subversive part of the
This
Mario
is a
story.
movie about brothers. This is not a movie about anything but the love you have for your brother.
I kinda
Peach is
love
kind
that.
of a badass in this movie.
Yeah, that's great.
She's not a damsel in distress whatsoever.
That's
And
a
they-
huge change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they the advertising made her seem like she was like super girl boss, and I would say that she has some of that within her.
Yeah.
Where she kicks ass, she's really capable. There's a
And
whole
she,
training montage where she
Yeah.
can do everything and he can't.
And she sacrifices her independence as an independent princess to like sacrifice herself for Mushroom Kingdom to potentially, like, spoiler alert in the end, I don't want to say it, but like marry Bowser, because Bowser's like, I'm gonna fucking marry you and you don't have a choice, and is like obsessed with her, and she like puts herself on the chopping block to save all the
She's
toads.
kind of like a real one.
Yeah.
But she's
Whoa.
also very supportive to Mario the whole
Independent,
time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, Luigi's our damsel in distress.
That's awesome.
Our how do you say damsel but male?
Dame?
A damsel.
A dam.
A damo. A damio.
A dame.
A Damien.
A Damien in distress.
He's a damien.
My connection to Mario Brothers is very weird in that I was obsessed with one game and one game only as a child.
Huh.
Mario Party.
Oh,
Obviously, I
It
love
was
Mario
me
Party.
and my sister and my two neighbors, Brett and Paul, who were boys that were born at the same time as us. So we were like mirrored each other, and everyone joked like, you guys are going to grow up and get married with each other, because we spent every single day playing in the cul-de-sac, going over to each other's houses. the thing was, my sister and Paul, same age, very cute, both like clearly the hot ones of the family as children. Me and Brett both turned out to be gay. And everyone as kids were like, you guys get together for a picture. And like, if I ever stole Brett's star in Mario Party, he would cry and like scream and like catfight me. And I'd be like, this man is gay. And no one believed us, but look at us both. So
Look at me now.
I know nothing of the world of Mario except for like an intense knowledge of Mario Party.
Okay. 2 questions. What was your favorite mini game in Mario Party? And what character did you play as?
Oh my God. Okay, so Yoshi.
Fuck yeah, obviously Yoshi.
Obvious. I'm such a Yoshi.
If you played Mario
Queer
Party
icon.
and didn't fight over Yoshi, you're a cop.
It's like Baby Spice when you were playing Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Like
he is the best one,
Yes.
obviously.
Did we confirm that Mario is a boy?
You mean Yoshi?
Oh, Yoshi's a boy?
I think Yoshi's a boy, and then Birdo is gender non-binary.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God. What was my favorite mini game? Fuck. I really liked the one where you had to spin the controller as fast as you could.
Oh, that one hurt.
To stay on the ice block that was tilting back and forth. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, and I loved the one where similar maybe where you're on top of a snowball and you're trying to knock each other off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you could steal stars from each other. So like while in this movie, I knew every single thing that was going on and like every character and every noise. I have no fucking context of the world of like what's to come.
Well, let's start there. Is that one of the true pleasures of this movie, to a point of fault, is that it is so chock full of references and it's such a cheap boost of serotonin, but it is.
Works.
It is a boost of serotonin every single time. This movie, and we're not going to get even an iota, like a 1/18th of them.
No.
But they get a phone call early on, and his ringtone is the GameCube.
Yes.
And I literally went.
You cackled.
I went, ah!
And Maggie went, this is why I love seeing movies with Zach, because he's just so tickled by everything.
Well, she said that to you after first leaning over to me and going, shut up.
Yes. No, she thought it was very cute, but she would not tell you such a thing.
Yeah.
Because
There was you
were the only one cackling in the theater.
There was the Punch Out Pizzeria. There was a duck hunt thing I saw in the background. Just lots of little references all over. That did become irksome to me at a certain point because a lot of this movie felt like the writers, not to jump into guilt real quick, but the writers put a giant whiteboard of references. Yeah. And it was not so much a plot, so much as it was, how do I get between all of these points?
Yeah. And I think they also what I think they did a good job with was playing it into the sound effects and soundtrack.
Perfect.
Because like it could have been way cheaper, but I think they did a really good job of making it subtle enough that for some of them, unless you know it, you maybe would have just let it pass through your ears as it being so blended into the movie, which I felt like for a lot of references, they did a good job of.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's stay positive, and I'll circle back. Like the sound effects and the score, score especially,
so good,
is transcendent.
There is a big number in the middle where Bowser does a ballad, a piano ballad.
Oh my God. Okay, I was just talking about the way that they adapted video game music.
That too.
But this is my favorite part of the movie.
Where Bowser is in his own world. He's this big, tough, rough guy. And then you find out that he's in love with Peach, which he calls Peaches. And he has this beat of like, Peaches, 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 oh, Peaches, Peaches, Peaches. Like,
it's Jack Black in the middle of the movie doing a Tenacious D song, doing a love ballad to Princess Peach.
Yes.
And
it's so cute.
I love the song. I've been listening to on repeat.
Yes.
It's peaches, 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 peaches.
And the fact that he calls her Peaches. And they toned down Jack Black's voice.
It sounded a little pitch shifted, which was fun.
Which was fun.
He, I think, is without a doubt the absolute best part of the movie. I wanted more of him.
Yep.
He is electric as Bowser.
Yep.
I mean, Jack Black is going to be incredible in anything he does, but he is perfect.
You couldn't see the same way, and this is one of my pleasures, was it looked so fucking good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I had no idea how they were gonna like innovate in technology, showing this. I was like, how could they possibly? Bitch, it was giving the same thing that the last scene in Puss in Boots gave us with like the rainbow scene with the ice caps. That was the entire movie. Looked just, I remember sitting in your living room being like, God, this makes me emotional with like the color of how good Puss in Boots was. That was 2 hours or an hour and a half of this. How long was it?
Hour and a half.
It was perfect timed wise, but it was so colorful. The characters looked so good. I couldn't stop thinking of Hippo's face every time I saw Bowser because his little meaty mouth was just so just chonky.
I love traveling, and it is so embarrassing to be that person that's like, oh, sorry, I only speak English. No, you're in someone else's home. You put in the homework, dog. Which is why we're talking about Rosetta Stone, the expert in language learning for 30 years, and an award-winning app where you can learn anytime, anywhere. They've got 25 languages to choose from: Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and more. You're going to get these little bite-sized pieces so you can learn and make real progress in as little as 10 minutes. It prepares you for real life. This is going just beyond vocab. It focuses on speaking practice, pronunciation with their true accent feature, and more. It's immersive, intuitive learning. There's no tedious memorization needed. And you can use it for so many different things. Are you preparing for travel? Rosetta Stone. Connecting with loved ones? Rosetta Stone. Pick up a new skill just to keep your brain sharp? Rosetta Stone. For a limited time, our listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription, which gives you access to all 25 of their languages forever for 40% off. Visit rosettastone.com/guilty today. Rosetta Stone, how language is learned.
And I'm going to give it up to them. I did not think about Chris Pratt once watching this.
I think that Chris Pratt did a good job.
Really?
He fucking did it.
He did it. And it's really
did it.
wild because all of the discourse leading up to this movie was the voice cast. And I don't think everyone was perfect.
No.
But Jack Black, incredible. I think he gets the benefit of Bowser not having a real voice. So it's a rah, rah, rah. And so Jack Black now has the freedom to step into Bowser, create a new character. He's bringing his Jack Black charm. They're adding this love story where Bowser is purely motivated by his deep love of Peach and his misunderstanding of how to achieve love. But now Chris Pratt is stepping into impossible shoes.
Yeah.
We all know the Charles Martinet, the high-pitched Italian. And in the beginning of the movie, minor spoiler here, they start the movie full Italian face, doing full pasta face.
Yeah. He is playing a stereotypical, it's a me, a papa pizza.
And so you hear Luigi and Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Chris Pratt as Mario, doing the full Italian voice.
Yes.
And it turns out that it's just for the commercial, and then they watch the commercial and go, do you think it's too much?
Yeah.
And it's a cute little voice, and then you get a Charles Martinet cameo, and Charles Martinet goes, I think it's a perfect.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, it was the real Mario.
Oh my God. Fun. I didn't know that.
Fun little Easter egg.
You get to see like their whole Italian family, which is
Okay, wait, slow down.
part of it?
Slow down. We're
Is that
jumping too
part of
fast.
it?
No.
Oh.
But Chris Pratt, it worked.
It beyond worked. I never thought of him in his voice. I never heard him in his voice the entire time. I'm looking at an Italian cartoon character, and I saw an Italian cartoon character, not a tall, white Republican man. Thank God. And I'm not going to lie, I forgot Charlie Day was Luigi. And so I kept going, whose voice is this? Whose voice is it?
Oh, that's funny.
And then when I realized it was Charlie Day, I was so happy because it even though it's so Charlie Day,
It's very Charlie Day.
like I saw him, I think it worked. And if he was a real tall, lanky man in real life, I think it would have been like just perfect. But because he's like this shorter, like kind of crazy guy, I heard a little bit too much of him. One person I could not believe and could not stand was, unfortunately, my girl Anna Taylor-Joy.
I've heard this from other people.
Did not work for me as Peaches.
She didn't bother me that much, but tell me why.
First of all, her voice is very vintage. Like she's got like kind of this nasally moment. Like if you're thinking in Queen's Gambit where she talks proper English, it was like, no, I don't want my Peaches to be so unique sounding. I wanted someone a little bit more unrecognizable.
You don't want a Peaches that you can imagine hanging out at a Gatsby party.
No, I saw her as Queen's Gambit. I saw her with that long blonde wig, whatever fucking movie that is. Like, it was just to her.
Who do you think would have made a better Peach? Because Peach is another one where I know her voice.
Yeah.
And it's a very, oh, hi. I mean, that was a bad impression, but she has a very unique, high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss to imagine who would be better.
And this isn't going to be a good comp because I'm just thinking, like, out of the top of my head. But, like, even I think, like, a Kristen Wiig could have done a better job of just, like, giving us cartoonish but still believable.
Sure.
I think what the problem was is that Anna Taylor-Joy was, like, using her real voice. And that bothered me.
Yeah.
You
As
know?
a character, I enjoyed Peach. It was fun to watch her kick ass. They give Peach a backstory that is wild and I don't know totally necessary.
You get to see baby Peach.
Yeah, they first allude to it that she was the only human in a world of little mushroom people.
Yeah.
And then they show you where as a baby she gets sucked through the pipe and they give her this kind of tragic backstory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Like, she kind of like got stuck in this world and she doesn't know her family. She doesn't remember how she got there. All she remembers was falling through the pipe and Toad saving her and treating them like one of their own, and then made her princess, which that kind of weirded me out a little bit, that I was like, why did you guys make her princess? What did she do to prove that she deserved to be a princess?
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Yeah. No, it was like
It's
these
fully
people
weird.
were like, we've made her perfect just the way we want it.
The voice acting that didn't work for me, and this what?
No, not who?
This pains me deeply.
No.
Keegan-Michael Key. I hated his Toad because Toad to me has the funniest voice. He's the okay,
Yeah.
hi,
Yeah.
I'm Toad, and they made him like, it's very Illumination. They tried to make him like the wacky sidekick who says stupid things.
Too much personality.
Yeah, but it's this. I don't know. I hated it. I hated him. I didn't think he was funny. I thought the character was annoying. I was sad that the rest of the Toads, like, if the rest of the Toads had that raspy, annoying voice and then just he was an outsider who spoke different, then I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's like the weird Toad.
Like the guy, there was a weird, or like an elder Toad who had like a hilariously deep voice.
And that crushed.
That was so funny.
Yeah, there was one Toad who was like, my dear people,
Yes.
we must fight to protect
Yes.
our kingdom.
He sounded like he was from a different era too. Like it worked a lot. But for Toad, you know what it was trying to do? What's the Papito's name in Puss in Boots? Papito?
Yeah.
Perrito. It was trying to be cute, lovable, silly, wacky, doesn't realize how wacky they are. But I think
it's an Illumination movie. And I think that some of their humor is so fucking sophomoric. And that's
a good use of the word sophomoric.
Yeah. Garrick and I on our BFF phone call that was just the two of us without you, he made a great point where, we talked about what really worked and then the things that don't work. He said that
He saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Didn't tell us that in the group chat. I invited him to come with us Friday night. Why didn't he
He's
come?
in New York right now.
But last week?
I don't know.
Interesting.
He said that it felt like it was made for international children. And
Why does that sound like a problematic
it
sentence?
sounds problematic, but it totally makes sense. It's like, this is something where no matter what language, no matter what culture, it's lowest common denominator and will kind of hit for everyone. And I would laugh at jokes in the movie and then feel dirty.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm like, oh, come on.
on.
That's so cheap and lazy. I'm surprised and glad that no one farted in this movie.
There was no farts.
You would think this is the kind of movie and the kind of humor where like Mario would go to like punch a block and it wouldn't
fart
break
by
and instead he would fart and go,
Yeah.
"Ugh."
Yeah, he doesn't.
It's that kind of joke.
Do you know who I think worked even better than Jack Black? Was our guy, Donkey Kong.
Seth Rogen.
Which you hear it and you just go, Yeah, nobody else could have been Donkey Kong. Absolutely not. Nothing else would have worked. The laugh, like that was an example of he played himself and it worked.
And he has admitted in interviews that he took the lazy approach, did not even attempt to put on a fake voice. He's just like, yeah, now I'm just going to do my thing, cash my check. And I was in for it. But again, it's because Donkey Kong, the only sound he makes is a laugh. A monkey laugh. Yeah, so it's like he had free range. The Donkey Kong scene, probably one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
They're going to the Donkey Kong Kingdom.
Jungle
World, and they need to get the ape army.
Yeah.
And so he says, Cranky Kong, voiced by Fred Armisen, didn't really work for me.
Oh, didn't work for me.
Says, okay, if you want my army, beat my son in a battle.
Yeah.
And so now this is the first time, we had a training montage before, but we get this like Super Smash Brothers-esque floating island Mario level where it's Mario versus Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong beats the fuck out of Mario.
Oh my God. The first time he punched him, like all the adults went, ooh, like, oh my God. Like this, when we're doing
Pummels him.
fighting, like we're fucking fighting.
Yeah.
And it was like painful to watch.
Well, even more painful. Okay, so they're fighting and then they have power-ups. We'll explain the power-ups in a second. But Mario, in one of the many, different references you get to see, he gets the cat suit, which I love me, the Mario cat suit. So now Mario, meow, he's jumping around, he's doing the cat stuff, and he has claws.
Yeah.
And he just starts
Ripping them.
scratching Donkey Kong's face. And it is horrific.
Yeah. They went there with the suit.
They show scratch marks
Yep.
on Donkey Kong's face. And I thought it was going to be a joke where like he's like paw patting him like bum bum bum. And then like one single nail comes out and you see like a super close up of
Like a
one
scratch.
thread of hair like get cut. But instead it's just Donkey Kong on the ground, Mario with claws pummeling him, and
Oh
you
my
see
God.
these like light red scratch marks on Donkey Kong's face, and it was yucko.
Well, you can't see those details in the video game. You can't see that close up. How do we know that hasn't been the intention all along?
It hurt me.
Well,
It was sad.
I thought it was badass. The another power-up moment you get there is the mushroom moment where Mario hates mushrooms. Is that a thing in the video games that he hates mushrooms? He hates eating them?
I thought you were going to ask if mushrooms were part of Mario lore, and I'm like, Kelsey, are you kidding me?
Wait, I am now just completely put a pin in all of this. I am just remembering a moment that we had the second the movie started when I leaned over to you and like very audibly went, is Bowser a fucking turtle?
Oh my God. Of course.
He's a turtle?
Obviously, he's a turtle.
What do you mean, obviously?
He's
That's
the
the most
He has a shell. He's a Koopa King.
I thought he was wearing a shell as like part of his armor.
So what would he be without the shell?
A fucking pit bull.
Pitbull. He does kind of look like a pitbull.
You thought he was a dog?
I thought he was some sort of pit bull-esque animal, like a big old pit bull.
looks like a lizard.
You thought that Bowser
Yeah.
was a pit bull
Hold on.
wearing
I'm not-
a shell.
Now, to be fair, he does have horns.
He has horns.
Which lizards don't really have.
The turtle's not a lizard.
I thought he was maybe a big lizard.
Basically, a lizard. Well, the lizard finds a shell and then it's a turtle.
That's a great point.
I'm not convinced people know this, and
he's
I'm
the
gonna
King
ask my
Koopa.
sister.
He's Koopa King.
Ask my sister.
Who the hell?
A lizard could
She's calling
be-
Chris Pratt.
So you're
see
calling
the
your
answer.
sister to see if
If
she's also
I'm-
dumb?
Okay, Meg, you're on the podcast. I have a quick question for you.
What animal is Bowser?
Oh,
She did not want to be in the podcast.
she hung up on me.
She did not agree to this
Wait, but
appearance.
like lizard makes more sense.
Lizard makes more sense. He's kind of like a Komodo dragon
Yes.
turtle hybrid.
Megan, you're on the podcast. One quick question. What animal is Bowser?
A dragon?
I mean,
I'll take
I'll
dragon.
take dragon over pitbull.
Dragon is.
See, I think it's harder to know.
Yeah, but he's like a dragon turtle.
He's a fucking turtle.
He's not exactly a turtle.
He's not exactly.
Oh, that was her second guess. Okay, thank you, Megan.
Thank you,
Love
Megan.
Megan.
Bye.
I think dragon's an acceptable answer. He's a dragon turtle.
Oh, okay, but Pitbull, no.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Okay.
Mr.
but
Worldwide.
we did have that moment, and Zach looked so ashamed of me. And that was the first, that was within 30 seconds when I saw the little Koopas coming out of the Bowser spaceship. And I went, oh my fucking God. He's a yoked ass roided turtle.
So what was the revelation? Is because he was surrounded by other little turtles?
Yes, it was the first time that I had seen them worshiping him in that way that I was like, they're not trying to insinuate that he's head turtle. What happened to him? Why is he so big?
Yeah.
Why is he so big?
Koopa.
A question I do have is Mario eats the mushrooms, right?
Yes. So
yeah,
thank you. Let's talk about this.
But they also look almost identical to what toads look like.
Not addressed.
Not addressed.
We're in the mushroom. Here's the thing: is that we're in
Wow.
the Mushroom Kingdom, and they're also giant mushrooms,
Yes.
the
Are they
size
alive?
of buildings
Yeah.
that they jump on.
Right.
So it's just a world in which everything is mushroom. I do have devastating news, which is that the iconic line "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come." Much aligned in the trailers.
Yeah.
People were saying that Chris Pratt's voice sounded like Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. That line is not in the movie.
took it
Trailer
out.
line, huh?
Yeah, it was a trailer line, or just taken out. I'm not sure.
They got too much flack.
But so they have this training montage where Mario first learns. He goes on the floaty platformy thing, and they introduce mushrooms. The way the power-ups work in this movie is you get them, and then if you get hit, you lose it, which pretty
That's
effective,
correct.
right? But Mario eats it, and he goes from short king to yoked daddy.
Yo, he becomes the hottest Italian stallion. You want to ride all day.
Now,
Wait, but is it true in the video game world that he hates eating mushrooms? 'Cause
no,
that's
it was a
pretty
cute
funny.
little Popeye twist.
Okay.
Where they made his character hate mushrooms, and now he has to eat
Which,
mushrooms.
as an
Hilarious.
Italian, that's sacrilege.
Is that a thing?
Eating
Italians
mushrooms?
love
Think
mush-
about mushrooms are in everything in Italian food.
The hell are you talking about?
Baby, mushrooms and Italians
I
go
know.
together like butter on pasta.
If we
Sorry.
if we do a
that is
family
the least Italian thing I've ever heard.
if we do a family feuds pizza, pasta,
Mushrooms, chicken parm, eggplant. Those would be
I
the
don't even
five
think that
things.
mushroom is top 5 for what people associate with
Garlic.
Italians.
You think mushrooms are in chicken parm?
Mushrooms are on everything Italian. At least Southern Italian.
Maybe mushroom dishes.
Let me ask my sexy Italian.
make another
We're not
phone call.
calling
I'm
your
not
sister.
Don't make another
FaceTiming.
phone
I'm
call.
not. I'm just gonna text him.
Okay. So you were saying-
Mario eats the mushroom, and you get to see him and he gets big, and now all of a sudden he's 8 feet tall. And the question that I have is, does the carpet match the? Does his dick get big?
You're wondering what that thing do.
Yeah, what that honk do?
Yeah.
Does he hang low? Does it wobble? Does he flow?
How's his mushroom tip?
Do you? Thank you.
Nice.
Do we think that they use the mushrooms in the bedroom?
Oh.
Imagine. Oh my God. Imagine
There's got to be Mario porn.
100%.
not eating the mushroom until you're already having sex.
That sounds like it would not be fun for the receiver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what
like
I'm
a
talking
balloon
about.
All of a
inflation.
sudden, it's like.
Yeah, all of a sudden your insides exploding. You kill it from the inside out.
This is horrible.
The 100 ways to die that I haven't thought about.
You mentioned earlier, so we meet Mario's family in this film, which really weirded me out. And what's weird is that Mario's a full-grown man, but they also treat him like a little child with
He
a dream.
still lives at home.
Yeah, it's like they have the disappointed father who's like, my son, he's never going to amount to anything.
He's
Yeah,
just a
you're always
plumber."
holding your brother back. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
First of all, they're 30-something years old for sure with those mustaches.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you get to see the Mario brothers without their hats on. I swear to
fucking
God.
hate a nightmare.
I loved it. I leaned
They-
over to Zachary and I go, that looks like my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, I thought it was gross.
Luigi.
Okay, well, Luigi's
get
a
it.
little.
Luigi can get it. I loved both of them without. They looked like the way that Justin Bieber was iconic for his swing over. I think they should be known for their hair.
Luigi was a little. He got a little something going on.
He was a little hot.
He know how that
A
bulge
hottie.
works.
Yeah.
Was that a wrench, or am I just happy to see him? You know what I'm
Jesus
saying?
Christ.
But Mario, they show him without his hat so often, and I've seen Mario without his hat. his head still has a shape. In this movie, for whatever reason, they give him like flattened hat hair, and it is.
Oh, I love it.
Seeing a Mario without his hat is like seeing
A teacher outside of school, like a dog walk on its hind legs.
It was wrong.
Everyone knows that
It felt
reference.
sacrilege. It like saddened me. It felt like, and honestly, it felt like seeing like a man with a beard without their beard.
You also get to see baby Mario and Luigi without mustaches.
Yeah, they did a cameo. Those are characters.
Oh,
Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. They have a flashback.
there you go.
Oh, there's a flashback. I was gonna say like, how would they be in the movie?
You got a little flashback
But
scene.
meeting the family where knowing like they were disappointments, living in their parents' Brooklyn home, like they're
really
doing
weird.
tough. Like if we put that in today's times, we got two
Yeah.
30-year-old men living in their parents' Brooklyn apartment. Like that is kind of sad.
Does it take place in modern day?
It takes place in modern day, in modern Brooklyn. But like, isn't it? It's weird and sad to see sad Mario get
Yeah.
scolded by his dad,
Yeah.
and then go to his room and like only have the glow of his TV
Playing video games.
as he sadly plays video games, and he's like, "Someday, Luigi, we're gonna prove to them that we're." It's like,
Oh, no.
why? And this is there's a lot of questions I have, and so many
It's
of them
an adult film.
so many of my questions are why? Why make Mario from Brooklyn? Why not start him
Isn't
in
he?
Mushroom Kingdom? No, I don't need this. Why does he need to be an
'Cause they're
outsider?
humans.
Because they're humans. I think that canonically they actually may
Love
be
that
from
word.
Brooklyn.
But
Yeah.
like, I've never played a Mario game and had to have Mario be like, "What is this world that I'm in?" I don't need that shit.
But isn't that the whole fucking point? Is that he's learning how to like exist in this world? Isn't that like the whole point of a video game? He's not one of them.
That's the point
He's
of this
trying,
movie.
he's trying to rescue the princess. Is really the main point.
Ew.
Well, no, but that's why I think it's a nice subversion because that was the
Yeah.
game canon in the 90s. It was literally just Mario jumping on a little platform, running, and then Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong was the original villain in the
Was the
first ever
original
Mario
villain.
game.
That's right, because he used to look evil.
Yeah, the first ever Mario game wasn't. Was it Mario? It was Donkey Kong. It was called Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Am I making this up?
No, it's not exactly Donkey Kong. There's a whole weird thing about it. It's an ape that looks like Donkey Kong, and he's throwing barrels.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the dragon Bowser came in later. Huh?
That's
right.
Okay, but he's like the iconic villain.
Of course.
And I hate to ask this, but I am curious. Is Yoshi in this?
So this is a whole thing. So Yoshi, when they're going
said
through
the
the
triggering word.
different worlds, you have
One moment.
shot of a herd of Yoshis running like wild antelope. And then we're entering mega spoiler territory. Post credits, we're all like, "Oh yeah,
The
give
world
me-
is blown up.
Give me Wario and Luigi.
Yeah.
And Wario and Waluigi. That's what we all want." And so you go down, the world's been blown up.
Yeah.
You go down underneath the ground where they
So the
first
worlds
enter.
have contaminated each other now.
Oh, now like Mushroom
Earth
World
is
in.
yeah, and Mushroom World
The
is
final
it's-
climax, a giant bullet bill hits the warp pipe, and now the final climax is in Brooklyn. Bowser comes back to Brooklyn. But so we're going underground into the sewers, and you see the warp pipe, and what you want to hear is like
Yeah.
we all,
Of course.
we all fucking want Wario and
We thought
Waluigi.
that's what we were coming.
And instead, you see an egg, a Yoshi,
Yoshi
egg,
egg.
and it hatches, and then it cuts to black, and you hear Yoshi.
Which like
It was cool.
But we
It
know
was
that Yoshis are going to
cute.
be there.
yes, but it made us excited to be like, oh my God, give fucking Yoshi the respect on his name, because to have done that tiny little, no pun intended, egg, like Easter egg moment where when they're just like quickly passing through the worlds, you see a herd of Yoshis and you go, oh my God, maybe we're about to get, and you don't.
Right.
Then you forget about it. You
Yeah.
forget about Yoshi this whole fucking film. And you're like, as a Yoshi stan, you want it almost to have its own spinoff, its own movie.
Yeah.
And to like give it its moment, I felt like was nice. And it makes me feel hopeful and reassured that Mario's about to meet his best friend.
I mean, look, I still screamed.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
went-
screamed a lot.
I literally went, "Let's fucking go!"
We also
and then I
stayed
realized
for-
that there were children.
It was 3 post-credit scenes.
3?
Wasn't it?
2 at least.
Okay.
I forget what
well,
the other one
we
was.
stayed a lot. There was 2 other people in the theater, and they were both wearing mushroom toad costumes.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like an MCU? Are they going to do a Mario Cinematic Universe?
I would like to say something else about Yoshi.
Oh, please.
I resent the way that Nintendo seems to what Nintendo seems to think Yoshi is. And this pisses me off. I'm serious. Because
Tell us.
they treat Yoshi like he's some fucking horse.
Like a Snoopy. Like a best friend.
Nintendo treats Yoshi like he's some fucking dog ass horse who we ride and goes and that he marches in a herd.
Yeah.
No.
That was giving Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's how they treat Yoshi.
Blue from Jurassic Park.
But I grew up playing Mario Party, and I played as Yoshi. And Yoshi's a man who happens to be a dinosaur. In my mind, Yoshi's a man who can read the paper and ride the bus.
Hell yeah.
And I don't appreciate this fucking, Plutofication.
You could also be ridden.
Like Disney has Pluto the dog, but Goofy's a human dog. I think Yoshi deserves to not be an animal.
Wow, see, I'm so old that when you said Plutofication, I thought of the planet and was like, yeah, they really did Pluto fucking nasty, and you meant the dog from
I meant the dog.
Cool.
Big time. I agree.
I want to give my guilts of this because as I said, I felt it was a kid's movie. There's right now this huge divide between critics and audiences, and people being mad at the critics because this got like a 50-something on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score is in the 90s. Seems like we disagree.
Yeah.
I'm fully on the side of the critics. I
Really?
think that this movie is very lazily written.
Oh my God.
And it's weird because, I want to tell you when it works and why it doesn't work.
Hold on, let me get comfortable. Go on.
It gives you what you want. And when it does, you are floating on cloud fucking 9. But every time it does it, it will go like, it winks at you and then takes it away. So the opening, you get to see Mario being fucking Mario, and I'm like, yeah! And then it stops. You have this one side scroller shot where he's jumping through a construction site, and you feel like you're playing Mario, and it's fucking euphoric. And then they stop. And then you get these little...
Zach, you can't just do smack the entire movie.
I want smack the entire movie.
No.
At the end, you finally get this action scene where Donkey Kong and Mario are jumping through this whole level, and you feel like you've seen a video game come to life, and it is the best 60 seconds of a movie. My soul floated up to the sky. But then afterwards, Mario gets a Tanuki suit. And he, all of a sudden, not just what Tanuki can do, which is hover, he can fucking fly like Superman. And now for the next 4 minutes, the climax of the movie is Mario flying. And he flies against a giant bullet bill and like Superman is like, and like pushing a giant bomb from destroying the world.
You're being so dramatic. That was like 30 seconds.
I don't want that.
Okay.
I want to see him jump on people's fucking heads. I want to see him
and squish them more.
and throw shells and like just give me.
We did get Mario Karts.
You did, but it's
on Rainbow Road. We got it on Rainbow Road,
and it's incredible, and it taps into that nostalgia. But how did we get there? And this is why the movie's fucking lazy. It's just connecting the dots. They go, we have to fight. You know what that means? Carts!
No, it's because Donkey Kong World uses carts. They even have their little parasail car. And so to get from Donkey Kong World to
You hear this?
Mushroom World, he goes, I know a shortcut. And they go, but we're going to need carts.
At one point, they're fighting in the Rainbow Road sequence. You're in a cart, and they're fighting a Koopa, and they throw him off, whatever. And then the Koopa goes, blue shell, and turns into a blue shell and starts flying to them. And you're like, oh, fuck you.
So I love this. I love this for you. It's so funny to me because
it gives you what you want.
That's not what Tanuki can do. That's not what Tanuki can do.
You're saying it gives you everything you want. Be grateful, bitch. Be fucking grateful.
Okay, here's at one point, Mario goes to the castle. The first time he's like, hey, I'm here to see Princess Peach. And the Toads go, Princess Peach? The princess is in another castle. Wink.
Well, that one was weird.
Oh, fuck off.
So you want them to sort of be
weird.
like,
That
we
moment
don't,
was weird.
you want it to be Game of Thrones Mario style.
No, that was, if you don't know, that's a reference
Of course.
to every time you go to save Princess Peach, Peach is another castle. So like they were just doing all these like wink, 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 wink,
I
wink
didn't know
instead
that.
of plot points in a way that I found irksome.
Well, you know what I'll say? It's just interesting to me, and I'm curious what your take on this is. When you watch the D&D movie, it didn't necessarily bother you that obviously there are rules in D&D that when they put them in the movie, you can't, for example, wild shape into an owlbear. but they do it for the film.
Well, I don't fucking know the rules of D&D,
Well,
so it
I
didn't
know,
bother
but
me.
I guess that's true. So you feel like the rules were sacrificed.
I think the highs of the movie were fully understanding what you want from a Mario movie. The lows of the movie were not giving it to me enough.
Sure.
I don't want to see Mario fly. It's just...
I almost cried at one point because, like we said, this movie is about two brothers who love each other so deeply that they believe they can do anything as long as they're together. Which,
I also thought that was
yeah,
problematic.
it
my
was
God,
so
that's
emotional.
beautiful.
Exactly. This is an adult film.
But if that's going to be your plot, don't you think you maybe have Mario and Luigi, say, get into some fight in Act 1 and then realize in the end that the two of them working together is what
that would
saves
be
the day?
too stereotyping. That would be so tropey.
That would,
that would be like, come
God
on.
forbid you don't want to see brothers go on a journey. You just want to see them.
they don't.
You want to see them be
They
best friends.
literally
And,
go on a journey. What are you talking about? The entire movie is them being on journeys. It's an adventure film.
That's right.
I cannot tell you. This movie ended, and I went, I cannot wait to see this again.
Oh, yeah.
Because now that I got the story out of the way, now that I know where it's going, I want to watch it again to like pay attention to every little thing. For me, it was almost like my guilt was that there was so much, it was hard for me to catch everything. Like you're even telling me things here that I was like, oh, what? Oh my God, cool. I want to see it again to like, maybe you know it too well, and that's why this movie's never going to please you. Because no matter what, you're always going to want something different.
I want you to know that I fully thought this was going to be the greatest movie ever made.
They're great.
I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is going to be
You
funny
wanted-
action. I was like, I fully overhyped myself,
You
and I
wanted
know.
Pixar
That's tough, yeah.
perfection.
I wanted a family movie, not a kids movie, and I got an Illumination kids movie with
I
beautiful
disagree.
visuals and cool stuff.
I disagree.
My number one guilt.
Uh-oh.
The fucking needle drops in this movie made me want to die. You have the greatest soundtrack, the most iconic soundtrack of all time.
Yeah.
So you have the score, which is stupendous. Hearing
good
the
word.
Mario soundtrack ported into
It's great.
cinema is phenomenal. And they didn't just do a 1-for-1. They evolved it. They adapted it. They did a really good job. But then when you have Mario, I forget if it's when he's first entering Mushroom Kingdom or when he's entering the Donkey Kong Kingdom, they play Take On Me by Aha.
Oh, yeah.
And that's classic Illumination.
When they're doing the training montage,
Yeah.
they play I Need a Hero.
Well, isn't that Warner Brothers technically that's doing that?
Universal Illumination.
excuse
No,
me.
it's Illumination is the production company, and this is like bread and butter. What they
do
fucking
that
do.
with all their movies.
But that's got to be a studio thing.
Definitely. But
Yeah,
either
and
way,
it,
they
and
do
it
that a lot.
fucking sucks.
Yeah, but
It was
it's something
bad.
that everybody can feel something to.
But that's no, I don't accept that. That is when either a scene's not working enough or you don't trust a scene's working well enough. And so you
Sure.
just slap on some song in hoping that it'll elicit something.
See, I
from
disagree.
people.
I think people have the same way that there's like 5 songs that are played at every single wedding that make you feel fucking hype and ready to go. I feel like this movie plays into that feeling of like when it comes on, you automatically feel something. I feel like it heightens the experience. I feel like it's an added flavor, an umami, if you will.
If September plays at your wedding, I will get off the dance floor.
Oh,
Which one's September? When September?
That's such oh God, that's so snobby.
Which one's
That's
September?
so snobby. If a certain song plays at a wedding, you're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, I explicitly all of like the must plays at weddings.
Yeah.
And so same must plays in a movie. Like I've seen the training montage to I Need a Hero. Look, Shrek 2, no one will beat I Need a Hero in animation. They've done it. They did it. I'm a
Yeah.
curmudgeon. It doesn't feel good to be a curmudgeon, and it hurts me to know that I just can't experience joy anymore.
Sure.
But I want to be honest. That's who I am.
Gotcha. I guess I'm curious also, it seems like you wanted almost a more indie version
Yes.
of the
Yes,
of the Mario
he
movie.
wanted like something more fucked up.
What I'm thinking honestly is like that's so interesting because often with big IP, especially like Mario,
The first one, too? Fuck off.
I know is that you like 'cause
Puss in
maybe
Boots
2.
3? Yes.
Yeah.
You have the
Here-
space.
you have the space.
the IP to do that with.
Well, here's what we're gonna get: is that this is already the highest grossing animated opening of all time.
Stop.
It's
Over
going,
Sonic?
Yeah.
Of
Oh
course.
my God.
Oh,
Over
obviously,
Sonic.
of course,
over,
yeah.
Miles, over Frozen 2. This movie
Holy
is
shit.
smashing box
Because
office.
it's an adult film.
No, it's because of 30 plus years of nostalgia.
Yes, an
course.
adult.
So-
Over 30.
And
Yeah,
so
that's
I think
cool.
we're going to get more Mario movies. I hope we're going to get a Luigi's Mansion movie. I think that would be
A
great.
spooky time.
You know,
one.
just I am certain we'll get a Donkey Kong something. I think they're just going to split it off and they're going to be
Enough.
printing money for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot that I loved. Bowser every second of him was gold. It was
Iconic.
funny. It was cool. I loved, at one point, and he was menacing. I'm curious if you noticed this, because there was talk about this online. I went on the Bird app, and I saw, so at the end of the movie, Bowser is shrunk down. Do you know where I'm going with this, Kelsey? Oh, okay.
No.
Bowser's shrunk down, and he's put inside a receptacle. And everyone
call it a
on
receptacle.
Twitter was like, they put Bowser in a jar? And I'm like, what does that fucking mean? And I kept looking, and apparently Bowser was put in what is referred to as a cum jar.
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me?
That was a needle drop.
And I was hoping that you could explain to me what that is.
What is a
For
cum
some reason,
jar?
I'm imagining they put him in like a bird cage at the end.
No,
That's
they
what
put
it
him in a
looked like.
glass jar, and everyone on Twitter was saying that they put Bowser in a cum jar.
Are you sure
That's just a jar?
I'm gonna
that you
Google
come in, obviously?
Bari.
Well, clearly.
And you remember those E-Bomb World days. That's what a cum jar is.
Weird part of the internet.
I don't know what it. Look, I'm sorry.
It's a jar of cum that some guy left under his bed for like a long time and then took
Okay.
it out.
To Reddit, what Bowser? What are you gonna do in that jar?
Cum?
I like how it took like 5 years for the cum jar to be a meme. What?
I think you're in a weird part of Reddit.
All I know is that cum jar is a thing, and apparently it's a thing.
So I think
I don't know what it is, guys. I'm dying to know what a cum jar is.
Okay, stop saying cum jar. But so I think when a big franchise IP comes out like this, I think I have a lot of questions about what the future is of big nostalgia-based IPs like this. Now, Sonic, you guys reviewed the Sonic movies. Super fun, whatever. Kind of like this, a similar problem though. It's a big budget thing. What would this look like if it was kind of smaller and more independent? Sega, this is kind of behind the scenes thing. Sega owns the rights to Sonic. The Sonic IP recently was sold to an independent developer, not sold, but just like partnered, where they did a game called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's a murder mystery, but Sonic gets murdered and you're trying to figure out who did it.
And it crushed,
And it
right?
crushed. It's really cool. It's like a visual novel. A friend of mine actually did the music for the game.
Sweet.
Shout out
Wow.
Troop. But so
Wait,
that is
what does this have to do with cum jars?
so here's what it has to do with cum jars. I think that is a good example of a big company, Sega and Nintendo, using their IP and being like, how do we shoot this elsewhere to an indie place and see what they can do with it? And I'm curious if you think that this movie in the Mario franchise, like what would you want to see, Zach? What's your perfect...
Despicables. They're going to despicable it.
Yeah,
right?
they're going to franchise it and you have a Toad movie and that's kind of like the Thor Ragnarok of like Mario, you know what I mean? Like,
I do think that we will get the MCU.
Yeah.
To your question, we will get the Mario Cinematic Universe. I mean, this is just printing money. The merch, the theme park.
The theme park. Are we going?
I already went.
You did a video.
went?
I made a video. Came
Was
out
it
today.
cool?
Yeah, it was super cool.
Was the food the best part?
No.
Oh, the food looks so
The
cool.
burger was good.
It's just portobello mushrooms. Grilled.
The Italians, no.
No, the design is the best part. It's
I have to
gorgeous.
say one guilt because I will never be able to not talk about it. Peach's nose job in this movie was horrific. It was the first and only thing I could think of every time I looked at her. It was like probably Nicole Kidman's original nose. Like it was
I need to look at
so
this.
small, so sharp, so bent, so wrong for her face. She should sue. She should fucking sue.
Do you think a little mushroom surgeon did it?
I think she should take some mushrooms, make that thing bigger. She needs a schnoz
Rub
on her.
mushroom right on her nose. Here, I'm
Yes.
looking it up. Yeah, she's got that little button nose. Honestly, it seems like she would have a hard time breathing.
It looks like a chip, like a whoopsies, like a pixel whoops.
Also, she clearly has lip filler.
She was giving unattainable beauty standard, but
Not to like pick apart women here, but you can tell. I mean, like, I'm a plastic surgeon, and I'm going to talk about what Peach has done. So she's
Yes.
clearly gotten a nose job, a little too much for me. I think it doesn't fit her face. You can tell that she's had lip filler. She also got her buccal fat removed.
Oh, yeah.
Chin implant. That thing is not that naturally pointy, and her eyes were made bigger by reducing her brow size.
she definitely is also wearing a waist trainer, which I didn't appreciate because I thought they would like make her more realistic. And her eyebrows, honey, we're in 2023. Get those things microbladed.
Oh my God.
Also, it was very funny. Maggie leaned over in the middle of the movie and goes, "Oh man, I didn't know she had heart-shaped bangs." And I went, "Man, neither did I." And then again, couldn't stop looking at it. Definitely unusual, long of them things, sideburns. I do like her little weird sideburns. Eyelash extensions, yeah. Not a natural blonde. Like Anya Taylor-Joy, it's a little bit too similar.
You know who needs a plastic surgeon? Mario, that schnoz.
Oh. Oh.
Hey.
We all agree, though.
My Italian lover said mushrooms are very Italian.
Okay.
I'm also sucking his pee-pee, so maybe he's just going to agree with anything I say.
All right.
Got out for roll up.
Do we think Mario probably like stanks? He wears gloves.
He dove into that sewer hole in Brooklyn a little too comfortably for my taste. He dove in head first like a fucking swimming pool.
I bet you Luigi has like a musk, but like he's got like he stinks like a man.
Like he smells like Axe body spray. Mario doesn't wear deodorant.
No, I think that Luigi smells like, oh, you've been working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's just got that natural stank from being a hardworking gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time for us to decide, is this movie a pleasure, a guilty pleasure, or just plain guilty? Kelsey.
I'm gonna go with a simple pleasure. I would say guilty pleasure, but I don't feel guilty about it. Normally when I'm like, oh, it's a little guilty. I texted like 15 people after I left the theater being like, go see it. It's amazing. Have fun. I think if you want that dopamine hit, but you're not trying to get addicted to smack the way that clearly Zachary is trying to fulfill some sort of dopamine hole in his brain, I think you're gonna have a great time in this film. I think you should go see it in a theater. It'll be fun once it's out at home to view, but I think this was a really fun theater experience. Go get some candy, go get some kids, just pick them off the street. Go have a fun time at Mario
kidnap
Brothers
a
Smash.
child and bring them to the movies. I'm gonna go guilty pleasures. I agree with the critics. I think that they could have tried harder.
Boo.
You know, there's a lot to love, but I look, a lot of people have used the excuse of it's a kids movie, don't be so hard on it. I don't think that's a good excuse. I think that we should hold our movies to higher standards. Toy Story is a movie made for kids that is phenomenal and stupendous. Puss in Boots 2. Being a kids movie does not mean that you need to speak down to kids. And I think that for how good this movie was able to be at times, it didn't fully stick the landing.
Damn.
And I'm a bad person.
You really, I didn't pause for that moment in the podcast, but I really wanted to just be like, yeah, hold on. Can we pause? Because you just said something very insightful and self-aware of yourself. That you are just a curmudgeon-y man. And that's just who you are. And that you'll never be satisfied because you'll always be looking for the crack in the detail. And I'll never be satisfied. I'll never be satisfied.
Well, let's talk about our pleasures. These are things in media that we are enjoying outside of this. And I'm going to once again give it up to single, drunk, female. Our boy, Garrick Bernard.
Yes, season 2, baby.
Season 2 is out right now. You can watch it on Freeform. You can watch it on Hulu. And it's just such a delight. I mean, look, it's actually just a great show.
Great show. Represents sobriety.
I've seen
so
it
good.
called Freeform's Best Kept Secret. It's just a delight. The whole cast is great. But watching him shine is really
our
fills
favorite
our heart.
part. Our best friend. And he had a sick ass outfit to the premiere. I'm going to also go with my pleasure being that. And I'm going to throw another nod to an audiobook that I just re-listened to, The Ethical Slut, which is a classic but a favorite. If you're someone who thinks like traditional relationships are kind of boring and not your style, The Ethical Slut answers and massages every part of your brain that you want to hear. If you don't understand it, if you judge it, if you want to be like it, go listen to The Ethical Slut and watch Single Drunk Female on Freeform.
Hell yeah. Well, till next time, I'm at Corndy on all things.
I'm at Kelsey Darragh on all things. I'm at Garrick Bernard on all the things.
And until next time, peaches, 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 peaches.